In the context of Nepal's constitutional and political framework, what are the possible powers and constraints of Sushila Karki as the head of an interim government? Sushila Karki, former Chief Justice of Nepal, serve as an interim Prime Minister. Her powers and limitations would not be exactly the same as those of a regular, politically elected PM. Instead, they would be shaped by Nepal's constitution, political consensus, and the specific mandate of the interim setup. Powers of Sushila Karki as interim Prime Minister. She would lead the Council of Ministers and exercise executive powers under the Constitution of Nepal. Authority to implement laws, policies, and run day-to-day administration. Ensure neutrality and fairness in state machinery. Direct security agencies, bureaucracy, and local administrations to act impartially. A key responsibility would be preparing and conducting free, fair, and credible elections. Work with the Election Commission to ensure voter rights, proper management, and equal playing field for all political parties. As a nonpartisan figure, former CJ, she could act as a balancing force among competing political factions. Could push for governance reforms and maintain checks on misuse of power during transition. Could make urgent administrative, security, and financial decisions necessary for maintaining law and order until a new elected government takes over. Limitations of Sushila Karki as interim Prime Minister. Her government would not have the authority to make long-term policy decisions or introduce sweeping structural reforms. Its role would primarily be transitional and election-focused, not agenda-driven. She cannot dissolve or amend constitutional provisions. Lawmaking authority rests with Parliament. The interim cabinet can only issue necessary ordinances, and even those need eventual parliamentary approval. Unlike an elected PM, she would lack direct democratic legitimacy. This can limit her moral and political authority in controversial decisions. As a former Chief Justice, she carries a reputation for rule of law and neutrality. But politics is messier. She might face accusations of bias if any decisions favor or hurt certain parties or Gen Z movements. She cannot extend her tenure indefinitely. Her role ends once elections are held and a new government form. In short, as an interim PM, she would have full executive powers in practice, but with a narrow and temporary scope, mainly to ensure governance continuity and deliver elections. Her limitations lie in the absence of a direct political mandate, dependence on consensus among parties, and constitutional restrictions that prevent major reforms or long-term policy initiatives.